achieving professional milestones that were previously out of reach. Yet, in many of these homes, a confusing erosion is taking place. Behind the professional accolades, couples find themselves drifting into a sexless coexistence, functioning more like polite roommates than intimate partners. This creates a difficult question for the modern professional. Why does reaching your peak financial goals so often seem to dismantle the very attraction that brought you and your partner together? It stems from a specific internal trade-off. A woman builds the success she has always wanted, but in assuming the primary burden of provision and problem-solving, she often finds she has traded away the emotional rock she relied on for balance. We have successfully equalized pay on paper, but thousands of years of evolutionary hardwiring for attraction appear far more resistant to change. This friction is the result of a biological lag, an invisible gap between how we work today and how our brains were shaped over millennia. To understand the tension, look at the scale. We navigate a 50-year history of economic opportunity using a psychological operating system refined over 50,000 years of survival. While female income spiked vertically in a single generation, the human attraction baseline remains flat. Most women still feel a visceral, deep-seated need to look up to their partner, to feel a sense of protection and leadership, regardless of their own net worth. When a woman steps into the role of the primary alpha, the earner and the ultimate decision-maker, she enters a state of constant high-stakes problem-solving that directly conflicts with that baseline instinct. This creates a persistent tension. Our modern economy has changed the rules of provision, but it hasn't yet changed the ancient requirements for psychological safety and attraction. For the woman in this position, the daily reality is a quiet, mounting exhaustion. She is carrying the financial and logistical weight of the family, and she is tired of being the only one doing it. This resentment isn't necessarily about the money itself. It's about the relentless toll of having to make every significant choice for the household after a day of making them for a company. Spending 10 hours a day as a high-stakes professional requires a specific, intense mode of operating. It's a state of constant vigilance and management. When she walks through her front door, she has a desperate psychological need to de-roll. She wants to shed that corporate persona and finally stop being the person in charge. But if she walks in and immediately has to handle a crisis with the kids or decide what's for dinner because her husband is waiting for instructions, a leadership vacuum opens up. She is forced to stay in her masculine shell just to keep the household moving, and she begins to resent her partner for making her stay there. Her anger stems from his failure to provide a container for her stress. She is effectively acting as the CEO of both the boardroom and the living room, with no place to simply be. From the husband's perspective, the income gap often leads to a slow, confusing retreat. He is navigating a flipped status dynamic. Biologically, it is difficult for a woman to maintain a deep sense of respect for a partner if she feels she is the one carrying the heavier load for the tribe. Many men respond to this by becoming nice. They try to compensate for their lower income by becoming more agreeable and retreating into a passive role to avoid any potential conflict. He may start doing more chores or asking for permission before making any move, thinking that being helpful will balance the scales. But helpfulness is a poor substitute for the presence and initiative she actually craves. A woman who operates at a high intensity wants a partner who can match that energy, not a yes man who adds to her mental weight by requiring her to lead him too. When he attempts to buy back her favor through domestic compliance, he unintentionally kills the sexual tension and respect that the marriage needs to survive. Saving a marriage where the power has shifted requires an intentional effort to repolarize the relationship. For the man, this means leading in non-financial ways. He must become the family's emotional anchor, the one who provides a steady vision for their future, regardless of who brings home the larger check. This involves maintaining his frame, his hobbies, his opinions, and his personal edge. He has to show that he is not intimidated by her success, and that his value is defined by his presence, not his salary. For the wife, the work is equally difficult. It requires her to let go, to trust him to lead the family dynamic, even if he does it differently or less efficiently than she would in her corporate world. Without this shift, the marriage often becomes a countdown to a gray divorce, as the two partners continue to drift into separate worlds. A marriage can withstand a massive gap in income, but the collapse of mutual respect is a far more certain ending.